Dave Bautista's upcoming film tries its hand at a premise evocative of the John Wick movies and in a manner the world may need right now. Bautista's new endeavor comes at an uncertain time for the John Wick franchise, as Keanu Reeves' title character presumably died at John Wick, Chapter 4's end, and the franchise appears to be sealing his fate with moves towards spin-off projects centered on anyone but him. Whether John Wick fans will be interested in subsequent entries without John Wick is to be decided, making the franchise's future feel like it's on shaky ground. Fortunately, the franchise is going into it well prepared with projects such as the forthcoming Ballerina movie and the newly confirmed spin-off starring Donnie Yen's Kane that are exciting and hold promise. Only time will tell how they stack up to the original John Wick series and if they can keep audiences coming back for more without Reeves. Until then, though, Bautista is offering some comic relief in a film with a familiar assassin-based premise that'll be perfect to watch while waiting to see whether the John Wick franchise will thrive. Dave Bautista's The Killer's Game looks like a funny John Wick movie. The Killer's Game has an assassin story with a comedic twist. Bautista stars in the action comedy The Killer's Game, a John Wick-style assassin movie from Lionsgate set to premiere September 13 this year. Lionsgate was also the studio behind the John Wick films, and as The Killer's Game trailer attests, Bautista's new movie will similarly provide impressive, high-octane action sequences and beautifully choreographed fight scenes. Not to mention, Bautista plays the assassin, Joe Flood, a role that promises to yield some of the same types of thrills and calamities Wick encountered. However, unlike the John Wick movies, The Killer's Game will hinge on a deliberately humorous slant. The Killer's Game hilariously finds Flood taking out an accidental hit on himself. While the premise is nothing new, it will be carried by Bautista, who's proven his knack for comedy in the Guardians of the Galaxy and Knives Out franchises, Palm Clementif, also of the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, and famous funnyman Terry Crews, among others. On top of everything else, The Killer's Game will flip John Wick's premise with one particularly hilarious aspect that may get even the most hardened John Wick fan laughing. The Killer's Game hilariously flips John Wick's premise. Joe Flood is on the run from The Killer's Game's version of a guild of assassins. Palm Clementif as Mariana in The Killer's Game. As previously stated, Flood takes out a hit on himself, a decision he makes after learning he has a terminal illness. Later, however, Flood learns that the prognosis had been a mistake, but the news doesn't deter the movie's version of John Wick's Guild of Assassins from coming after him. Although Flood will have to defend himself from an assassin faction like John Wick so often does, Flood will do so because someone at his chosen healthcare facility mixed up his test results.